Hello, Jack. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
I'm Jack. I run Ripple Media from Toowoomba in Australia, and we've been growing at a steady pace ever since we joined TRW. I started from scratch, and we've been doing pretty well.
Amazing. So you said Ripple Media. I know of a cryptocurrency that is Ripple, XRP. Does this have
I
any association to it, or is it completely different?
no, just came up with a random name and went with that.
All right, got it. So you said you began it after joining the real world, but my first question would be, what led to you joining the real world? Why did you decide to take that step?
After I had a massive brain surgery, so you could probably still see the scar. It went from here all the way
Wow.
to over here after I had this massive cyst the size of a golf ball in my head. I went to surgery, and that gave me a bit of a shock. And I thought, well, I've done plenty of work experience in my time. I was at a trade school, so it's like half work experience, half school. You spend half the time out at industry and stuff like that, learning all sorts of different skills. And I figured out exactly what I don't want to be. I saw 70-year-old electricians working on the job site who absolutely hate their job, and plenty of other examples like that. I thought I definitely don't want to be that. I'd rather start my own business and work for myself. So I joined TRW, and we've been just treading along like that.
So brain surgery was how long ago?
Oh, maybe 2 years ago when I was 16. I'm 18 now. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So big journey, that's for sure. Yeah.
And how was it discovered? Like, did you end up having some kind of symptoms and then you figured it out and you went to get it checked, or what happened?
Well, yeah, I was doing work experience, big V8 engines and stuff like that, and I got really ill. So I think I lost like 7 kilos that week from the worst headache you would ever have. And, from that headache, I couldn't keep any food down. We went out to the private hospital, and then they flew me out to the Princess Alexandria Hospital in Toowoomba, where I essentially signed the paper saying, there's a 50-50 chance that this surgery may kill you. And I just went with that. And then I woke up 3 days after.
Wow, insane. And then outside of choosing what you're going to do for work, how else did that change your perspective on life?
Honestly, it makes you realize that you don't actually have that much time, and any moment spent idle is wasted.
Mhm. And then you put your time to use. So you joined the real world. What campuses did you get into and what did you end up doing?
I joined the SMCA campus, the AI campus, not the AI automation, the AI video gen campus, and the business mastery. So I learned how to run really good social media, how to run fantastic ads, how to close people with the sales skills, learned inside business mastery, and how to bring it up to the next level with AI.
Yep. What does Ripple Media actually involve and how did you get the idea for it?
I honestly just joined TRW and went from there. So, normally when people start a business, they need to think of a name and all that sort of thing, and they get the shiny object syndrome thinking about everything they need to do. The first step for me was going out and closing a client and figuring everything else out from there.
Mhm. So
So
do
that's
explain that
essentially how I did it. It
for
simply came down to the SMCA campus, and then from there I went through all the course material, and I think it was Dylan Madden's favorite quote. It's something like goes along the lines of experience breeds confidence, and then with confidence comes skill as well. So you're going to get more skillful with the more experience you have. That was the only thing I focused on. There were another four members who I was kind of collaborating with as well. One is now a very valuable team member, and the other two kind of fell off because they got distracted with other things.
got it. And what do you actually do? What services do you provide?
We provide social media management, and what I actually tell businesses is, we specialize in making businesses famous. So, we're
Mhm.
responsible for managing the online presence for 7 retainer clients in my local city at the moment, and we're building a massive reputation for ourselves.
Got it. And did you have any kind of video editing experience before joining the real world, or is it something you learned while within?
I had a tiny bit. Like, after the surgery, I dropped out of school and I started selling, jewelry at my local market, and I was running social media for myself there. It wasn't very profitable. I'll have you know. But everyone was more interested in the social media than the actual product I was selling, so I figured I might try that out instead.
Mhm. And okay, so you combined both the content creation and AI campus, social media client acquisition, and business mastery. How long did it take you to land your first client? What kind of outreaches did you do? And how did the sales go? How did the sales call actually go?
I remember it was actually through a connection I made with the local radio station. I still stand by this to this day that the best form of outreach is just door knocking and providing free value. I would go out to local businesses, I would knock on their door, introduce myself, and ask them if I can create them a free video to get my foot in the door and to sit down and see how we can help their business and scale their online presence. So that's how
Mhm.
we started off. I closed a wedding musician initially for like, I think it was $50 a week for 5 posts per week, which is ridiculous. But it got me a really good testimonial, and then we got things rolling from there. So I think I closed my first client within 2 weeks of deciding I'd start doing prospecting. And now it's pretty hard to stop the train. There are people coming in. It's more about maintaining the product and service than actually closing people now, because I could do it just like I can talk and breathe right now.
Mhm. So, what was that like trying to manage the logistics for actually expanding the business model?
That has been probably my biggest hurdle so far. So, you can close people left, right, and center. That's easy. But actually delivering for them, that's another thing. So, just recently, I've kind of taken myself out of the operations equation and focused on really scaling my business. This required teammates, an account manager who manages all the accounts, does niche research to find content ideas, and manages the editors as well. And then we have another 4 editors under that who take care of the client's content and come out with shoots for us.
Hmm. And yeah, very interesting that you've built all this at 18 years old. Or maybe did you begin at 17? Like how long ago did this begin?
Oh man, it was like on off since 16. Really, I joined TRW and I was fluffing around and all that sort of thing. Although I did understand that there was proper value in it. After having that surgery, I really locked in at midway through 16, and then that's around when I started. Yeah, so it's maybe been a year since we've been in business. I think I started this business in particular February last year.
Hmm. So yeah, been
So
about
just
a year.
yeah.
And how far have you scaled it? What are you currently averaging per month?
What we're sitting at right now is, I started off maybe closing a client for $50 per week, and now we're sitting at 15 grand per month. AUD, of course.
Mhm. So yeah, very significant. And again, at 18 years old, you're already earning that. Um,
Oh, it's
how
fantastic. And if you have like a
it is?
50% profit margin, that's even better.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. And how has Tate impacted you or your mindset, or has he had any kind of effect on your life?
Oh, the Tate brothers? Yeah, that's interesting. I'd say that's more entertainment. Um, the people who have had the biggest impact would probably be the community with inside TRW and Dylan Madden's courses. That was really interesting as well. Going up in the ranks, you could start communicating with him and higher ranking individuals within that campus as well. That was really helpful. I haven't actually been active inside TRW for a very long time because I'm trying to get to that money bag. I think it was that money bag club level so that you could start having the coaching calls and all that sort of thing. In
Mhm.
terms of actually managing team members and all that sort of thing, at the stage I'm at in my business right now, I don't see too much material that helps with this sort of thing inside TRW. So I've kind of just been focusing on my own sort of project. I haven't
Mhm.
been very active inside, although it's definitely helped scale the business initially.
Yep, got it. What about from the Business Mastery campus? What lessons did you apply when you were initially starting out?
The Business Mastery Campus was absolutely fantastic for learning sales skills. Of course, you can find stuff online, but having everything all in the one place is absolutely fantastic. The whole frame of selling something as if you're trying to help someone is absolutely fantastic because people don't usually see it that way.
Mhm.
Selling someone through asking them the correct questions, it almost works like a magic spell.
Yep, amazing. All right. So, what about getting a bit more personal? How has your average day changed? So, if you were to compare it before you joined the real world, I'm sure the brain surgery had a part as well because of the perspective shift on life. But just to give a contrast there, how does the average day look like now, and how did it look before you joined?
Definitely. Before it looked like when I joined, I wasn't very consistent in what I was doing. I was taking care of my body. That's before, for sure. I think I was like at 63 kilos at 6'3", which doesn't sound very good, after the surgery, of course. And then I bulked up and I gained a lot of muscle. Um, I was staying focused in the gym, but as for what I was actually doing, whether it was school or work, I wasn't consistent at all. Since joining side TRW, using that daily checklist, being involved in all the chats, all the campuses, that really made a massive impact in terms of putting in effort for the business. Because what actually scales your business, what actually makes you money, is by growing by 1% each day.
Mm. Yep, yep. Um, and now I'm thinking, for people who, I'm sure quite a lot who get into the real world and the social media and client acquisition campus, they're thinking, a lot of them, I guess, struggle with actually outreaching to people, and they're either procrastinating or they think they're not good enough or have any kind of self doubts. It sounds like you didn't have any self doubts, or did you? Okay, so before the brain surgery, did you have self doubts, and then did that change after, or what has been your perspective?
I've always been a pretty confident person, but that doesn't go without its challenges, of course. Cold calling people, door knocking, it's still really, really nerve wracking, but at the end of the day, you just got to suck it up and deal with it. If you want to close clients, if you want to help people in their businesses, you have to take the first step. So going out there, meeting people, being extroverted, if you will, that's what really does it. So no one actually cares whether you call them up and waste 30 seconds of their time or if you make a free video for them. What makes it easier is that you're providing value. One of my valued team members, Luke, he was asking me questions about prospecting. He's probably similar to one of the people you're talking about right now who are really, really, really nervous about picking up the phone, calling people, door knocking. I told him one small approach that you need to change is just by providing value, offered to make a free video, offered to make a demo landing page or something like that, or to create an AI assistant. I think where I learned that was inside the AI campus, always talking about performance outreaches. You need to do a performance outreach in order to close clients and to provide value initially to start a financial relationship.
Yeah, very nicely said. uh, and Hormozy says the same thing. Usually, when starting out, just fill up your time with free clients. Even you could do that, and then eventually people will start coming to you, and you won't actually have enough time to keep up. That's when you start raising prices and stop working with the clients who don't agree to raise their prices. So that's one way of going about it. And you'll have testimonials and everything. But I
Exactly.
guess same thing as in social media and client acquisition. You learn a lot more around that. So I won't ramble around it.
That's right. As well with your clients, where initially you close them for like $100 a week, and you need to start raising your prices.
Mhm.
And there are plenty of people who initially, when you close them, you're a completely different person to what you would be now. So they kind of take that for advantage, and then you have to reset expectations. That's one phase you'll have to go through initially. That's how you close higher ticket clients, is by changing your frame and adjusting everything from there as well.
Yeah, resetting expectation is a good way of putting it. So since you're on this trajectory, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
I think it was maybe 6 months ago. My mum was working at a candle factory where she really disliked, and before that she was working as a teacher, which was a fantastic career. But at the school she was working at, there was it wasn't really fair on her position, I'll put it that way. Now my mum is actually working as a team member for Ripple, and we're taking care of her in that matter. She comes out to shoots and she receives a really decent wage from Ripple Media. Right now I'm close to making a bit more than what my dad is making as an aircraft mechanic as well. So it's all about scaling from there. I don't really have a limit. I don't have a goal. I just want to keep pushing the limit.
Amazing. So on that note, what have your parents been saying to you? How do they feel about what you're doing, and anything else that comes to mind there?
They were actually really supportive. in the beginning. They've been supportive the whole way, honestly. So the times when I'd be out selling rings at the market, they were always helping me out there when I'd be out of money for business and stuff like that. They'd always help me with that as well, and it feels really good to give back to them. You know what I mean? So I'm even talking to you on the MacBook that I bought with the money that I've been making from TRW, and it's been absolutely fantastic as well. They were supportive the entire way through, and no, they never doubted me for a second. And now they're team members as well.
It's really cool that at 18 years old now you've built so much. It's a testament to what confidence, belief in yourself, and just going out and getting what you want from the world, what you can achieve with that.
Yeah.
So, for people who are unsure about joining the real world because they're thinking it might be a scam and they'll lose their $50, what advice would you have to them?
I mean, it could be a scam or something like that, but take it from someone who, if you lock in for the first month or two, you're going to be 10xing that every month. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, what you are spending on food or Uber Eats or something like that, I think inside Australia it's $80 per month or $70 per month, something like that. I don't know because I joined the champions role, but it pays for itself over and over and over again only if you lock in. If you're one of those losers who just join and expect money to be thrown at you or to have everything handed to you, that's not how it works at all. You really, really need to lock in. You have all of the material here. You need to see it as a place where you can learn from other people and you can build your skills.
Yeah, very well said. And now, to wrap up, for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
That would be at Ripple Media on Instagram. I'll give you a quick look. Right here, that's me.
Yep, we'll
I know
add to
that'll
the
show you
description
very
for
well.
you. Any links, if there'll be any more links as well, they'll all be in the description of the video. So anyone who's interested in that, check description. Yeah, Jack, amazing to hear. Again, at 18 years old, already at 15,000 a month, and scaling even further. You've employed your parents. They're, as you said, they're super proud of you, able to provide for them. And as well, you've gone through plenty of hardship yourself. A brain surgery where a 50-50 survival chance is quite like not many people will actually be in that position throughout their life. And you got
No,
that at an early stage, and that's allowed you to go through it and come out stronger because your perspective shifted since. And yeah, you've built all of this because of it. So amazing to hear. It's been great speaking to you, and I wish you all the best for the future.
thank you very much for your time, mate.